Okay, one thing that Kelly has drilled into me is the importance of asking. The importance of asking. So similar to my example of the hearts, right? Like I kind of had it all contained and I was doing like 20 at a time and I was paying for them and I was controlling it and it was very manageable. When I finally put it out there, people started buying the hearts.
Did your sales double?
Doubled.
In the last 6 weeks?
Yes. So at Arras, Kelly put me on the spot and asked me to tell the story just when we were going around the room. She's like, oh, would you tell the story? And I was kind of anxious about it. And I told like the 2-minute version of the story. I cried almost that entire day because throughout the day, women were coming to me saying, I want to give those hearts away in my business. I want to buy those hearts for, my children, right? It was when I realized that this, like when Brooke is talking about, it's on its way to something bigger. It's starting with something bigger. So I can work as hard as I want to grow Sam Willing, the brand. This imperfection wins thing is out of my hands. I'm like this. I'm like, okay, this is my commitment. My commitment is to be a woman of action, right? And this is what I wake up and pray every morning. Just put the action in front of me. And the reason I have to pray that prayer is because I spent so long living in force and I know how powerful I am. I can force anything. I can force anything. So I have gotten myself in enough messes, saying yes to the wrong clients, right? I've said enough bad yeses of my own forcing and my own doing that I'm now afraid of my own decision making. I'm like, you put the action in front of me and I will take it. And I will just keep taking those actions, right? Without a need to hang on tightly and know exactly where it's going. So you have to give people the opportunity to participate in what you're doing. That is what I've learned. People want to help. Sometimes they don't know how. And if you're waiting for them to come to it on their own, it might not happen. And so I'm learning to believe in myself. Because if I don't believe in myself, how can I ask other people to believe in me? And that's where that authentic living comes in, right? It's like the asking for money thing. How can I go ask someone to invest in me if I'm not first willing to invest in myself? I'm not saying to myself that I'm worth it. How can I ask them to think I'm worth it? It has to be both. So you have to ask. And actually, I will just add, I'm feeling so bold about asking about the hearts, not everything else. I'm still working on everything else. I actually reached out to Lady Gaga and Oprah and Ellen, and I haven't heard back yet, but I will keep you all posted. I'm sure it's just waiting to be read in their inboxes. But just think about what you need to ask. Just ask, right? Just ask. You got to stop waiting until the right time or to be perfectly prepared or for everything to line up perfectly or for it to go perfectly, because you will never get to it. Like you will never get to that point, and you do not have to be perfect to add value. And I think that is something that I have realized and learning and realizing. But so I'll leave you with this quote that I saw the other day, because it totally made me think of me, because I have this podcast and everything. And it said, in quotes, someone has to say something, ... Oh shit, it's me. Right? So it just made me think, like, it's probably you. Like if you are really passionate about your message or something that you're doing or your market or serving a market that is underserved, you are probably the one that needs to say something or do that thing. So don't be afraid of doing it. Just believe and go for it. Thank you.